Welcome everyone to the Comic Couch Review. Today we're going to be talking about the season premiere for Arrow Season 4. My name is JamesMan, and today I'm here with Blackjack.
Hello.
Jilly.
Good day.
The gang's all here. So we're going to be talking about what I thought was actually a really strong premiere. It was Arrow. I actually really liked this episode. I thought it was, I'm going to be honest, I think it was a stronger premiere episode than The Flash was. Like, I actually really dug a lot of it. There's some obvious parts where I was just kind of like, that was unnecessary, but looking at you, Felicity.
Gosh, getting some controversial statements coming out within the first 40 seconds of the podcast.
Oh, yeah, Felicity is so controversial in the comic
no,
book
I mean,
community.
better than The Flash.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's always been the thing, for me at least, is I think Arrow always starts out really strong, but Season 3 showed that they can definitely start out strong and completely lose their way and fuck up. Mm-hmm. So, what did you think?
I liked the episode. I actually like you. I liked it more than The Flash. I think it felt like more happened in the episode than the Flash one. And so I think it was a really good start to the season, minus the, I mean, they do have to do the Felicity stuff because they can't just drop it off as much as we want it to drop off. But, that stuff kind of, other than that, meh, it was a good episode.
Yeah, it was definitely a strong start, I thought. One aspect that I like that they introduced in it was, because we haven't gotten a whole lot of magic in this show. And this season definitely feels like where they're going to start introducing more of that mystical element, because it was sort of teased with the Lazarus Pit in the last season.
Yeah.
But here it's definitely going to be on full showcase, as we saw with Damien Darhk's character.
And with Constantine coming in later too. I mean,
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait for that episode. So I like that they're going to be introducing that. I feel like it's going to hopefully bring some needed life to the show, because I think the inclusion of powered beings really brings up shows like the superhero shows, because it's like, I had problems with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but when they started introducing, the Inhuman characters, I started to dig it a lot more. I started to get more into it. So I'm hoping the same thing will happen here with Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
Plus the Flash has been, doing really well with that, so. Having superpowered villains.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think about the episode?
What'd you think about it?
It was a mixed bag for me, personally. Some stuff was pretty solid, like the majority of the Oliver stuff. And then other parts, like Felicity, just completely hindered the episode. Like, in previous seasons, I could put up with her. Like, I was one of the few people that could put up with her. But now it's like, when they give her a larger role, it goes from being a slight pain in the ass to just completely hindering and, dragging the episode down.
Well, I only had really a problem with her in those first couple opening scenes where at the house, just because it was kind of cheesy for me, at least. And that was the only time I really had a problem with her, because...
You have failed this omelet.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that was not a shining point. But I thought when they actually came back to Star City, I didn't think she was as bad as she had been in previous seasons, like season 3, where that was just, every scene she was in was her crying. So this time they at least got rid of the crying. So, she's still irrational as shit when it comes to certain things.
Well, they said that they're going to make her funny again, so we got that to look forward to.
Thank God.
What do you mean, thank God?
Well, I think that's all.
She wasn't funny.
It's a lot freaking better than what we got when they weren't trying to make her funny anymore and they made her a freaking sobbing mess.
No, we do not negotiate with terrorists. We need to tell the Arrow writers to kill her off now, We are not going to settle for cheesy-ass jokes.
Well, excuse me, sir, but there's a certain scene in this episode which may suggest 6 months from now, near the end of the fucking season, that someone dies, so... You know...
Oh, man, that'd
Just
be great.
saying.
No, because then Oliver's
would
going
be
to, like, take his shirt off and, like, go run into the Lazarus pit and dump her dead body in there.
I don't think, in relation to that ending, I don't think it's going to be Felicity. I just think it's too obvious.
That gives the fans too much hope.
It gives the fans too much hope. I mean, I want it to be. Everyone wants it to be Felicity. But I mean, she's obviously one of the choices. I was telling James earlier. We were talking about this earlier. I said this is going to be one of 4 characters because Oliver showed great emotion. It's either going to be Thea, Diggle, Laurel, or Felicity. And I was like, it's the least likely to happen is Laurel because she's, his, counterpart in the comics and whatever. So, don't think it's going to be her. And James brought up a good point that it might be Diggle, because he just feels like that's how they're setting up that character to die.
Well, also because it feels like they're bringing up his back. They're trying to bring his story full circle, like all the shit that went on with his brother, and Hive's going to be in this season, so
yeah,
it feels like they're going to wrap up his story and kill him. So that at least is what I think. That's my theory.
Plus, he's black, and we know how...
That is... it's true. They do not fare well in any film format.
Oh, my God. The audience is dropping off by the minute.
Well, it's a miracle he's lasted this long. It's not like The Walking Dead where they have a new freaking black guy every week.
No, you're making it worse.
We don't write these scripts, James. We're just calling it, or BJ, we just call it like I see it.
Yeah.
You call racism as you see it.
Hollywood is not kind.
Neither are we apparently.
To non-white male actors.
So okay, yeah, with our theories, it could be Diggle, could be Thea. Hopefully, it's Felicity. So there is that ending, but okay, let's move on from the whole Felicity bullshit because. Trust me, if you guys want to hear us bitch about that all the time, then then just have us talk about like season 3.
Fucking train in the background. That's awesome.
If you're wondering where the train's coming from, it's coming from Blackjack.
That needs to go on the thumbnail.
Just the train bursting through.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but I tried muting my recorders, that way it didn't pick it up. I just intended on not speaking for like the next 10 minutes. But we won't put this is fine.
That's funny. No, it's Damien Darhk. What'd you guys think?
Damien Darhk. He was what I was actually going to bring up. I really like his introduction. It's nice to get a character that's kind of over the top-ish in this season compared to like what we've had in previous like main season villains in Arrow. And I really like his performance.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of the actor's name, but he plays a bad guy in just about everything.
Neil McDowell? Neil McDowell? Something like that. It's one of those.
So it's like we know he's
Universe.
credible. We know he does a great job because he plays. I mean, he's been in a ton of things.
Yeah,
he's just one of those faces.
The Real Housewives. Oh, no, Desperate Housewives.
Credibility.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He's a fine actor. He's usually like the best parts of really shitty things too. It's like, have you guys ever seen the Street Fighter sequel movie, like Legend of Chun-Li?
Absolutely not.
No.
It's fucking terrible, but he's the villain in it, and he's awesome. Everything else about that movie is the worst, but he's great in it.
But I agree with you. I did like the whole mystical thing. Him having, kind of magical powers.
Yeah.
At first I thought he was metahuman, and I was like, I was kind of disappointed, but as the episode unfolded, you found out, he was dealing in the dark arts per se.
They brought up the distinction between the two,
Yeah.
Giving head to Satan for his powers. That's why he stuck his head in the box.
I'm really excited for that character.
Yeah. Well, this kind of reminds me of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3's opener, where this is definitely the episode that's supposed to set up everything that's going to be coming this season. and I think that this episode specifically did it really well.
Mm-hmm.
Where I feel like, we've got the whole feel for the season. We've got sort of that lighter, bouncier feel. I don't know. This episode felt a lot more lighter than like really any Arrow episode before it. Where it wasn't trying to be a soap opera.
Yeah. Well, and I think there was rumors that the show was going to go towards that more of a tone, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of alluding it to, this episode had a lot more going on, I felt, in it than the Flash premiere did. Because
yeah, definitely.
They were already like talking about like how Diggle and Captain Lance, who we can get back to in a little bit, thought that Oliver was a monster, and like the whole thing. I feel like this whole season's going to be about Oliver kind of molding into kind of the more lighthearted Arrow we're used to seeing.
Yeah. Well, because like season 3 was definitely like him at like his darkest behavior wise, because he was trying to get in bed with the villain basically in that one, because he was joining the League and whatnot. So with this season, it almost feels like the whole theme of this season is trying to redeem yourself. And I mean, that's something that I think is very appropriate for Arrow after, it's season 3. I feel like it's the writers trying to redeem themselves and show that they can make something good out of this.
Who would have thought?
As hard as that might be to believe. Yeah, who would have thought? Well, here's the thing. It's like, season... If you guys have seen it, I'm sure you have. Season 2, I love Season 2. I think it's a really good season. And then you have 3, which is a massive just torpedo into mediocrity and sometimes crap.
The only good thing about that season was Brandon Routh, and that is just rough.
That is
as
right.
It is.
Yeah. When your best thing is Brandon Routh. Whew.
Yeah.
But it feels like this season they're definitely trying to do something different, and I think it's working to their benefit already. I like the new costume. I like that he's called fucking Green Arrow now. We had to wait 3 seasons for it, but now he's called Green Arrow, and the feel of it feels more like an action comic book than mopey comic book. It feels less like the whole crime drama aspect they were going for a while there, and then the only problem I really have with this setup for the season is with Damien Darhk's character, and that he's like, we need to cleanse this city. I'm like, every single villain before you has tried this already.
It does seem to be, what the fuck has Starling City done to you bastards? I mean...
Well, actually, that brings up the question to me, like, what is so special about Star City? Why do you keep coming back? It's not working out.
The bad guys' motives seem to be unoriginal.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll be a little bit more creative than we've seen previously.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, this is just the first episode, so, there could be more to it. But right now, it feels kind of samey with the main villain.
Mm-hmm. They're inching closer towards Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor with all the real estate plans.
I need land, Superman. You won't believe how high I'm going to sell this Californian land for.
So, what did you guys think of your first initial impressions of Speedy?
I liked her. I thought it was actually pretty well done. What about you, Blackjack?
I don't know. It's one of you got to kind of like her beforehand, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not that I hate her. She's just kind of there.
Yeah.
I like this. Didn't change my stance on her at all.
Okay. Well, I already liked her because I thought she was probably one of the better parts of season 3, like her character wise. So I like that. That's still kind of the case here, is where I think she's probably one of the better parts of the show.
I like,
which is funny because I hated her character in season 1. So.
Yes, I was going to say I like the slow evolution of her character. Because season 1, she was just, oh my gosh, it was just oh,
You don't understand my feelings, Oliver. You were gone for years, and I thought you were dead, and I'm gonna do drugs now.
And now you won't open up to me because I can't understand you, and I'm a whiny bitch. And
Where's our Hispanic maid that we got rid of after 2 episodes?
And her character has come into fruition, and I really think they're kind of exploring the whole because she's a little bit more aggressive and whatnot, because she died and was dipped into the pool, and
Yeah.
as you know that you're not the same once that happens. So I feel like that they're kind of exploring that this season, and I'm looking forward to kind of seeing what happens there.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they're teasing it with how like aggressive she was in the fight that they bring up.
I mean, it's not something I'm all like, oh, this is the best thing ever, but I think it's a good subplot that will add, some filler for the season.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we've kind of covered everything
and
major.
The ending with Captain Lance.
That's true. Well, we don't really know a whole lot other than he's possibly that he is working for Damien Darhk, or at least Hive.
That totally threw me off.
Oh yeah, I didn't expect to see that at all.
I'm part of me. It's the whole. I think he's being blackmailed. Obviously, Dark has something on him. Either he's got his ex-wife, or he's threatened his family. Which he loves his family, so I assume that's something that he might be holding. He's obviously holding something over Captain Lance.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be the case. Well, we don't know enough really quite yet, so it's just assumption based. We're dealing with what they gave us.
Yeah, poor Lances, man. They just never catch a break.
I know they're the most fucked over family in like the whole entire CW verse.
I don't know, man. You should watch Supernatural, man. The Winchesters.
DC CW verse, Jilly. I knew you were gonna bring up fucking Supernatural when I said that.
Winchesters get fucked over all the time.
Specifically, speaking of the DC CW verse, that's the family that gets screwed over the most. Screw the Allens. They get screwed over the most.
That's what you get for being
do you guys
hot
have any...
and rich.
Okay. Do you guys have anything left to say about the episode before we sign off?
Solid.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Felicity Smoke is the Jar Jar Binks of the fucking CW universe.
Oh. I'll second that. I don't want to see Felicity for a whole nother season.
As a supporter of Jar Jar Binks, I am offended that you would compare him to Felicity.
Gosh.
You are offending millions by supporting that racial stereotype-filled character.
Abomination of the prequels. Oh my gosh.
We already screwed out, our female audience, our black audience. Why not just get everything in between?
James doesn't really mind Jar Jar Binks, and that's when everyone leaves.
Yeah, we're done. Yep.
Yeah, we're done. Bye, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed watching Comic Catch for the few months we were available.
Cannot support this anymore. Just, I don't even know if I can support this anymore. For crying out loud, it's Jar Jar fucking Binks.
You guys laugh, but one day, I have control over the YouTube channel. One day, I'm just gonna replace every thumbnail with Jar Jar Binks. We'll make it a holiday, a Comic Couch holiday.
No.
James.
Hey, you question it. You say no, but I can get Puff to do it if I give him money. So.
No, I've tried. Puff will not be bribed with money. It's donuts that really gets the job done.
Well, hopefully I can ship donuts all the way out there. That's a ways away from me. So, that's about it that we have to say on Arrow this week. We've said our last couple bits about it. This has been the Comic Couch review. We hope to see you guys next week for whatever else Arrow has for us, because I'm actually really excited to see where this season goes. There's a lot of potential for greatness and a lot of potential for really big crap. So, here's hoping we get the earlier. We will all see you guys next time.
Later.
Buenos dias.
What a fucking god, Blackjack.